Hey guys, how's it going? Since the addition of honor in Vanilla WoW, players could get themselves an optional title to show in front of their names. And while before the choice was severely lacking, with most options coming from PvP, the introduction of achievement system brought a lot of interesting titles with it. While some of them are easy and done in 10 minutes, there are those that require a lot of planning and free time to achieve. And even among them, there is one notorious achievement that will make you go insane. Let's talk about it. Insane in the Membrane is a pretty unusual achievement, because in order to complete it, you will have to grant out 8 reputations that you could never think about, and many players have never even encountered some of the factions on the list. Remember those pirates around Booty Bay that disrupt the normal life of Bay citizens? Well, first things first, you will have to take their side. If you've ever done the Booty Bay quests, your reputation level with Bloodsail Buccaneers will be around halfway through Hated, but you gotta raise it to Honored for the first part of the achievement. And while it's not something really hard, it's a pretty tedious grind, because in order to gain reputation with them, you have to kill the elite Booty Bay guards, with each yielding 25 reputation per kill. Good news is, these days you can easily find a group to kill guards with, which will cut into the time required a lot. Also, while doing the grind, you will inevitably unlock another interesting title at the friendly point, Bloodsail Admiral, which will have you kill Baron Raviglass and Fleetmaster Seahorn for a quest that rewards you with an Admiral's hat and a title. And while the quest and the hat was in the game since Classic, it's only with the Wrath of Lich King release that it gives you the title. The good news is, if you have at any point completed the grind and have the Admiral's hat to prove it, you will get the achievement and the title retrospectively. But for the Insane title, you will have to grind a little bit longer, up until Honored. Hit the milestone yet? That's great! Now, undo it all. The next step is to get all 4 goblin cities to be exalted with you, and if you actually hit Honored with Buccaneers, you would probably be around halfway through Hated with all of them. The good news is, most sources of reputation will go to all 4 cities, so it's not like you'll have to get 4 separate reputations from Hated to Exalted. Maybe like 2 of them, the rest will spill over. Unlike pirates, the amount of different creatures that give you goblin reputation is much bigger, and they are usually much lower level, which means the grind will not be hard, but definitely be very time consuming. There is also an option of not losing your Bloodsail reputation during the grind, but be prepared that in order to do this, you may never do another Booty Bay quest, so plan ahead if you're aiming for Lore Master. Starting off with Wretched, the lowest level goblin hub in Barrens, the mobs to the south from there are around level 15, and give 5 reputation with Wretched per kill until Revert, with 2.5 reputation spillover to other cities until Exalted. Venture Company goblins in the north Stranglethorn will yield 5 Booty Bay reputation per kill until Revert, with same 2.5 reputation spillover to other cities until Exalted. Waste Wanderers to the east of Gadget Zen will bring you to friendly with the Tannery's town, but they also give 2.5 reputation spillover to other cities. Pirates in Tanneries will bring you past friendly up until Revert with Gadget Zen, with the same spillover to other towns. As for Everlook though, there are no adjacent mobs to it, so you'll have to finish off the grind via spillover elsewhere. When you're done with the goblins, better take your pills and move on to the next reputation, which in our case will be Ravenholdt. This faction is mostly relevant to rogues as they give some class quests, but they may also sometimes accept other classes to their exclusive club. The Syndicate mobs in Darkmoon Keep will give you 5 reputation per kill until the last beat before Revert, at which point the only way to raise your reputation is a single repeatable quest: trade 5 heavy junk boxes for 75 reputation. The catch is, heavy junk boxes are only obtainable via pickpocketing level 50 to 60 humanoids, and like any lockbox, they cannot be bought on auction house. So if you have a rogue friend, you better buy him a mount or something, as you will need to get over 1400 lockboxes just to get through the Revert stage. What makes the turn-in even worse is that the reward for turn-in, a green throwing knife, is unique, so after every turn-in you will have to deal with it somehow, either selling it to a nearby vendor, disenchanting, or just throwing it away. Either way, quest you ought to turn in will not work for you this time, so better have something to do in the background while turning the boxes in. After turning in all the log boxes, hitting Exalted Ravenholdt, and losing half of your hair in the process, you're ready to move to the penultimate grind. Shen'dralar faction, which consists of only 13 NPCs and resides in Darkmoon, might not be the most difficult grind, but it definitely is tedious. The faction has only one general quest available, one class book turn-in, unless you are a Death Knight, 3 blacksmithing book turn-ins, and 3 repeatable quests, which will be your primary source of reputation. Each of those quests give you 500 reputation, which is not the worst that could happen, but every turn-in, in addition to some old world materials, require a book, which is a random world drop and is unique. So if you want to do a mass turn-in session, you'll have to bring your portable mailbox with you. Every turn-in requires a pristine black diamond, 2 to 4 large brilliant shards, and an item from Stratholme, Scholomance, or Eastern Plaguelands. The easiest turn-in, Librum of Protection, requires 2 large brilliant shards and a fair Abomination Stitching, which is a somewhat common drop from Abominations in Stratholme. One full run through Undead Side yields about 4 of these Stitchings, so if you combine the Reputation grind with farming Rivendell Mouth, this will be the least annoying one. Bonus points if you can disenchant all the blue drops for the shards. The only things left to get are Librums themselves, and the only reliable place to get them is Auction House. Depending on server economy though, they might run you a pretty penny. But we are too deep in the grind now, might as well buy the cost, right? Unfortunately, the last required faction for the title, Darkmoon Faire, might drain your gold even further than that. The repeatable quests at the fair, the various turn-ins, will bring you to 2000 points at friendly level, after which the only way to raise your reputation will be turning in various decks of cards. With addition of Inscription in Wrath, it is of course much easier than it used to be, with various low level decks available, but it's still going to be pretty time consuming. If we go with the cheapest route, with the Rogues deck, which is the lowest level deck available, you will need to turn in over 1600 decks, with each deck giving 25 reputation. In materials, this would run you at slightly over 5000 of each Hunter Ink, Midnight Ink, and Light Parchment. The higher level decks that reward an epic trinket give 350 reputation each, and since Wrath pre-patch, the trinket rewards are not bound on pickup, so the option of turning in other people's decks for them is open. But, of course, this does require some trust factor. Or a pile of gold. With the last deck turned in, you now rightfully earn the Insane title and are legally required to have a full week's worth of sleep. Leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and, as always, I'll see you all in the next one.